Our dear friend Malamar. So everybody has finally understood the greatness of our dear friend Malamar, and today I wanna bring you what our dear friend Malamar can do in VGC, because Malamar is actually a pretty interesting Pokemon. So, Malamar is a dark and psychic type Pokemon. Now, Dark and Psychic is a pretty decent typing. It's immune to Prankster, for one, so any Thunder Wave, any Taunt, any Anchor from Whimsicott, Grimmsnarl, anything you could imagine. This guy is completely immune. He takes neutral damage from Ghost type damage. He is actually very good against the various Terra fighting Pokemon that are apparently going around and are apparently winning a lot. I've been seeing Terra fighting Ursaluna Blood Moon to have a better damage on Vacuum Wave. I've seen Terra Blast Terra fighting Goldengo. Probably all because our friend Incineroar, not as much as a friend as Malamar, all because Incineroar is around. And probably also because Archaludon is a very common steel type. So having a stab Psychocat is already pretty good. But can, you may ask, what about Intimidate? You are not running Clear Amulet, and you just spoke about how much Incineroar is very dominant here. Well, our friend Malamar has the ability Contrary. If this Pokemon has a stat change raised or lowered, it goes the other way around. Meaning that when an Intimidate user is faced with Malamar, Malamar's attack will rise instead of going down. And we are going to abuse this strategy, this mechanic with another friend that will help set up Malamar, which is Mimikyu, thanks to the move Baby Doll Eyes, which is a priority move, meaning that will always act first no matter the speed. As you can read, Baby Doll Eyes lowers the target's attack by 1. Meaning that if you are doing it on a Malamar, this Malamar will instantly get an attack boost. That's not all. Superpower is a move, it's a very powerful move, but people often prefer close combat due to the fact that Pokemon using Superpower will need the attack. But this move lowers the attack of the user, except when Contrary is used. This move will boost the defense and the attack of the user if it has Contrary. Meaning this Malamar will spam Superpower until it gets up to a good amount of stat boosts. And to top it all off, we have a Terrafire just to avoid the various Will-O-Wisps that can roam around the ladder. Then we have Stab Knockoff. You can imagine this move dealing a massive amount of damage, especially after an attack boost either by Superpower or by Below Doll Eyes. And then we have an ever reliable Psycho Cat, which, as we told about, there's a lot of Terra fighting going around, so having Psycho Cat ready can be pretty advantageous in many occasions. We trained our friend Malamar as a bulky Pokemon with some attack and admin speed. This because we don't need to train its defense, since Superpower will boost the defense stat, the attack a little bit, just to run a Brave Nature to have something that the Superpower boost can add to. Then we have 252 HP and a lot of special defense for the defensive spread. Citrus Berry is here to ensure that our friend Malamar doesn't go down very easily. This is why we trained it very bulky, and we also gave it a citrus berry. We don't want our dear friend, special, amazing, and incredible friend, to go down, do we? Not that easily, at least. To support our dear friend Malamar, we have Mimikyu. Now, Mimikyu has always been an interesting Pokemon since its release in Sun and Moon. That's because the ability disguise that needed to be nerfed after going into Gen 8 before once it takes a hit, the disguise will go down and Mimikyu used to not take any damage. They changed it because now it takes a bit of damage. They changed it because people would run Focus Session Mimikyu, meaning that to get down this Pokemon, you needed 3 attacks, and you can basically run it very offensive, very powerful, without spending any bulk, just like we are technically doing here. But in testing, this extra attack actually came up a couple of times, and that's to say Mimikyu stats are actually pretty good. We are running Brave, Mean Speed, Mimikyu. Now, it's usually faster, so slower in Trick Room than Malamar, but as I said, Baby Doll Eyes is the main thing this Mimikyu is going to do, other than Trick Room. Baby Doll Eyes has a priority, so it will actually attack before Malamar takes the turn, meaning this Malamar will potentially always attack with a +1 attack boost. Another interesting thing I thought of is giving this Mimikyu a Terra Grass and a Mental Herb. This is to cause Trick Room to always go up no matter what. And also is to slow down any Anchor or any Spore. Terra type of Grass in case Among Us tries to Spore us. Mental Herb in case a Whimsicott tries to taunt us or encore us, trying to block Baby Doll Eyes, but under Trick Room, we are going to Baby Doll Eyes always first because the speed is reversed. Play Rough is basically the only attacking move this Mimikyu has. It's 90% accurate, unfortunately. However, you can run Shadow Claw, you can run Shadow Sneak. That's up to you, your discretion. Just have at least one attacking move. Then we have Trick Room, and then of course Protect. A little thing, Malamar can set up their own Trick Room, but I felt like Malamar needed all the offensive moves possible. So, yeah. Then we have Incineroar. Nothing much to say, is the typical Incineroar, very bulky. Perhaps we may even run not an Adamant nature, but we may run a Careful nature. It's the usual Incineroar, Safety Goggles, Intimidate, Terra Ghost, Parting Shot, Flare Blades, Knockoff, Fake Out. You can make an argument for dropping Flare Blitz in favor of Will-O-Wisp. That's up to you, really. Then we have Rillaboom. Rillaboom, usual Miracle Seed. Rillaboom, High Horsepower, Grassy Glide, U-Turn, Fake Out. Very bulky, but also very offensive. This is classic Rillaboom. These two are actually very important because they will help setting up the Trick Room and switch out, giving some sort of advantage to us, especially in Incineroar with Parting Shot. Then we have King Gambit. I figured King Gambit can be a very valuable member of this party because works very well in Trick Room, works very well outside Trick Room thanks to Sucker Punch. Assault Vest Defiant, so we're basically completely immune to Intimidate on our main attackers. Kawutao Cleaving, Iron Head, Sucker Punch, Low Kick, which actually does pretty decent damage on the various Ursalunas, so it's pretty good. Terra Water because it's incredibly bulky. The only thing we have to fear is Grassy Glide or Budammer, but we have Incineroar here to ensure some protection. Plus, not Terra Fire but Terra Water, because of course the game plan is that any Will-O-Wisp user will go down before they can even Will-O-Wisp King Gambit, especially. Not Malamar, because the speed of Malamar is actually pretty weird. Some Will-O-Wisp user can act first. King Gambit is way slower, can attack first and can take them out first. So that's my reasoning. I may be overthinking this, so even if you wanna Terra Fire King Gambit, it's basically the same and has a little bit more of advantages. Then we have Atterrini. Atterrini is an actually interesting Pokemon that I feel like not enough people are considering in Regulation H. It's a very powerful Trick Room setter, has Mystical Fire for coverage, Dazzling Gleam to have a never reliable Fairy type move, since especially Play Rough can miss. Protect, we are not running any Psychic move because we don't have space, basically. You can drop Mystical Fire if you wanna have both stabs and think Incineroar can be enough. The problem is there's a lot of King Gambits, and I wanted Atterrini to at least deal with the ones that are not going to Terrastalize into a defensive typing. Life Orb, Terra Fire to have Mystical Fire Stab, Magic Bounce to basically stop any status move, Min Speed, a lot of special attack, pretty good bulk. This is, as you guessed, a very hard Trick Room team. You can make the argument on putting Indeedee in any of these. You can even drop Rillaboom in favor of Indeedee and then have Follow Me. And then have Follow Me Trick Room with both Atterrini and Mimikyu. And you can also drop Mystical Fire or Dazzling Gleam to put Expanding Force on Atterrini. But the reason why I wanted to put Rillaboom is basically to support Malamar even further, giving it some grassy terrain regeneration effects. This team is basically with the idea of fully supporting Malamar, and Atterrini is just there for having an extra Trick Room setter in case we need it, and Mimikyu cannot set up the Trick Room in the right spot. So if you wanna put Indeedee, good. I still wanted to put a terrain that will help Malamar stay on the field as long as possible. So, without further ado, let's head to the first match. Our first match is up against a Rain team. Rain team with, of course, Basculegion, and then we have a Bouncehole that will probably use Population Bomb to boost Archaludon's defense and power up an incredibly powerful Body Press. Then we have Among Us, Incineroar and Pelipper to support the rest of the cast. Now, this team is obviously going to be extremely fast. However, we can reverse everything. And the way we're going to do it is by putting, ideally, Mimikyu. We have a problem that is called Archaludon. This Archaludon is going to be extremely defensively bulky. So that may counter our friend Malamar. Just in case, in this situation, we are going to bring Atterrini, Incineroar, and then we are going to have Malamar and King Gambit behind. Either Rillaboom or King Gambit. I feel like I'm gonna bring King Gambit. I don't wanna risk Hurricane from this Pelipper. Our opponent didn't open the list. I'm gonna assume this Pelipper is Cover Cloak though. Now, this Archaludon may go for Flash Cannon into our Atterrini. I expect this Pelipper to also double on Atterrini or set up Tailwind or do something. So I'm gonna Terrastalize Atterrini into fire to resist Flash Cannon and set up Trick Room. And then I'm gonna Parting Shot onto this Archaludon. Just to drop its offensive stats before it can become too powerful. Weather Ball onto Incineroar, Incineroar resists because it's goated. Then Flash Cannon. We are actually in a very good spot. We didn't have to sacrifice our Incineroar. Atterrini is fully healthy. Now we have a choice to make. Do we assume this Archaludon stays on the field and we Dazzling Gleam, risking giving it a stamina boost? I'd say we start chipping away this Archaludon before it becomes too powerful. Basculegion enters the field, we are going to Dazzling Gleam, they are gonna get a defense boost, but we are going to get an attack boost. There we go. Our Atterrini is in a decent spot. It dealt 37, so this Archaludon is going down, and then we're going to knock off this Basculegion. Look at our friend Malamar destroying Basculegion, one of probably the best Pokemon of the current meta. Woohoo! We are under the Trick Room, there's no way our opponent can save both, because this Basculegion, I'd assume is going to be either a Choice Scarf or Choice Band. I've seen some, it was Mystic Water, okay. Oh, Incineroar! Oh, Incineroar! Well, that didn't go too good for you, didn't it? So I'm gonna assume this Incineroar is going to fake out Malamar. So I'm going to switch out and put our Incineroar to have an Intimidate on their Incineroar. The rain is going to be over soon, so I'm not too worried about that. They are going to fake out on the Incineroar slot actually. Okay, we still have a turn of Trick Room, so I'm gonna Dazzling Gleam, and I'm probably going to knock off this Pelipper. Because this Incineroar is basically a non-issue. They tried to fake out again, and they assumed Incineroar was going down this turn. Well, you assumed wrong. Because our friend Malamar is bringing home our first match of the day. Such a precious friend, such an amazing friend. Let's see our opponent's move, though they don't have much they can do at this point. They try to fake out once again. They probably gave up 2 turns ago, but yeah, Malamar takes the final hit, and we are going great. Our second match is up against another Rain, but a bit different because doesn't have Basculegion. The last match made me realize I never made a match in Regulation H, at least in this ladder, on this account especially. So, okay. What are we going to do? I think we may do the same exact thing. Because we really don't have a reason to not do it. Oh, they opened the list. They have Cover Clock, Goldengo, which makes sense for Snarl. Among Us with Rocky Helmet, Classic Incineroar with Terrafire, okay. Damprock Politoed, okay. With Liquidation and Weather Ball, whatever, sure. Tailwind Anchor, Hurricane Whimsicott, we're going insane today. Electroshot, Drago Pulse, Flash Cannon, and Protect, Clear Amulet, always. This guy doesn't like Snarl very much. I'm going to do the same exact thing, Probably not bringing... actually, you know what? I'm bringing King Gambit anyway. Okay, they have Fake Out and Among Us. They will spore our Hatterini. Well, not... what does Among Us do in this situation, actually? Probably Sludge Bomb. I'm gonna protect and Flare Blitz these Among Us. They Fake Out Incineroar instead. Okay. And they try to... oh, they don't know. Oh, you sweet summer child. You sweet, sweet, sweet summer child. Now, they may try to spore... like, I know we just saw our opponents try to spore a Pokémon with Magic Bounce. Though Malamar doesn't have Magic Bounce and it's not Terra Grass, so I'm still going to... they protect Incineroar because for some reason they're running Protect Incineroar. You're not Wolfiglick, you're not running... whatchamacallit? You're not running Perish Song. So, yeah. And then I'm gonna Parting Shot this Incineroar. After I Mystic Fire this Among Us. I should be... yeah, Aterin is taking out this Among Us, definitely. Our previous opponent was a much more experienced player. It's just that this team was very much oppressing to their strategy. So I'm going to Parting Shot and bring Malamar in. If they Parting Shot... no, the Flare Blitz don't burn me. Okay. I would have been extremely mad if they burned our friend Malamar like this. They bring in Politoed. Okay. I don't even wanna Terrastalize into fire because this Politoed may attack with a water type move, so I'm gonna superpower at Incineroar and Dazzling Gleam. This way, we hopefully don't get one shot by Weather Ball. Okay, goes for Aterini. And we ensure a defensive boost onto Malamar for this liquidation, which I may actually intimidate. Oh dear. They may helping an Electroshock and deal a freak ton of damage. I'm gonna bring Incineroar in and protect. At worst, next turn we have a Fake Out. They Weather Ball onto Aterini. Okay, Electroshot will boost Archaludon. That does run Protect actually. We are going to use Dazzling Gleam, and I'm still going to superpower this Archaludon because at this point I expect it to take a lot of damage. Come on, opponent. They may try to either protect both. Yeah, makes sense. In order to get better here, a better position, but I may superpower this Archaludon once again because the focus is going to be on Aterini, and if it's not going to be on Aterini, I still get a Trick Room on, and King Gambit can come back and sweep. This Malamar may scare them enough to not focus on to Aterini. Yep. And we apparently lost the game. Oh! Our dear friend Malamar just won us the match. What a beautiful, beautiful scenario where our friend Malamar is going to win us the match. Oh, our dear friend Malamar could never lose. Our dear friend Malamar could never lose. Oh, our dear friend Malamar. The next match is up against... oh boy. this is a very powerful team because it basically runs Annihilate and Mousehold, which is one of the strongest cores of this current meta. They're just going to beat up until they make a very powerful Rage Fist. They also have King Gambit, which it's technically not a none of these Pokemon are technically going to be a problem for her friend Malamar, but they may end up being one. So I'm going to lead Mimikyu Rillaboom, not Incineroar because they have 2 Defiant users. They open the team list. Light Glaze, Scary Face, Armor Tail, Safety Goggles, Psychic Helping Hand, Swords Dance, okay, Population Bomb, Beat Up, Final Gambit, Rage Fist, Close Combat, Crouching. To boost King Gambit, this is not the usual Annihilate I'd expect from this kind of composition. I have to move quickly, so I will choose a Terrain. Fairy Giraffe Mousehold, meaning we cannot fake out, we can also not set up Trick Room safely. However, we may have to try anyway and U-turn this Fairy Giraffe. Population Bomb, we may never get to U-turn this Fairy Giraffe, there's the crit. This is Wildlands Mousehold, so it's never going to miss, especially because I never get the misses. Let's go Malamar. They set it up Trick Room, okay, I should have predicted that, but I didn't feel like trying to bet on it. Now I wonder, because I can do one very funny thing, I can baby dollize this Mousehold and get the superpower off, hopefully by resisting it. Baby dollize, Population Bomb, they crit as their first hit, of course. Remember, we have the Citrus Berry, especially for this situation where Malamar can get a lot of damage. Citrus Berry, we are at 75 HP, which is exceptionally good. And we are actually not in too bad of a spot. We still got to pay a lot of attention to this King Gambit, which is Terra Dark, by the way. They may beat up onto Mimikyu to avoid a Trick Room, and then I will superpower this King Gambit. They Terra Ghost, they chose to set up, which, you know, it's fine. I will baby dollize. No, actually, I will play half and protect. They will follow me, of course. They try the Sucker Punch, they fail. Play half gets the Mousehold, and now we have Ursaluna Blood Moon, which is another pretty threatening Pokemon. I will use Baby Dollice to get an attack boost, and I really wanna take out this King Gambit because they have Stab, Black Glasses, Sword Dance, Sucker Punch on this Malamar, and I don't know if I can resist both Hyper Voice and Sucker Punch with Malamar. I may even debate to superpower the Ursaluna Blood Moon, because King Gambit we can deal with a Terrini. Okay, our friend Malamar is just that great. Ursaluna Blood Moon goes down. We have received another boost. Now, I kinda have to try this we cannot fake out, but I still wanna get Rillaboom on the field. Especially, I forgot this guy had Dazzling. That's pretty funny. But I wanna get a higher power and superpower pressure. Okay, they don't Sucker Punch. They expected a switch. I don't switch. Superpower, our friend Malamar stands strong on the field, and our opponent forfeits. Perfection! Our friend Malamar is currently dominating the field and has gotten all the final KOs before the end of every match. So let's come back to the team builder and let's come back to the team builder and let's talk about the final thoughts. Malamar is definitely an interesting Pokemon. Its ability to basically turn Intimidates into an advantage, it may not be like Defiant with straight up always an attack boost, but you may argue any boost this Malamar is getting instead of a nerf is always going to be good. Special defense drop becomes a special defense boost. Any speed drop becomes a speed boost, and even if it's at min speed, it goes to 140 if they use like Scary Face, so it's still pretty good. Like, contrary turns every Malus into a bonus, and you may argue that except for special attack, any boost here can be useful in some way, either for bulk, either for speed advantage, anything. A very big brained opponent may use a speed nerfing move on our Malamar during Trick Room and suddenly make it too fast to work under Trick Room. That will be a very big brain move, but overall this couple works very well, and the two supporters are very much good tailored, especially for Trick Room teams, but we already knew that. The last two members are very good at also supplement extra pressure. Atterini can be good. You may argue you don't want a King Gambit or Rillaboom, as I said, for an Indeedee, and have also the Atterini core with Expanding Force. That's completely fine. That will make actually a pretty powerful combination. So I will put both versions in the description. I will put a version without Rillaboom, but with Indeedee, the classic supporting Indeedee, and an Atterini with Expanding Force over Mystical Fire. So yeah, that's all I had to say. Let me know in the comments what you think about our friend Malamar, but how can you possibly have something bad to say about our dear friend, right? Because you will everybody loves Malamar. You should love Malamar too, because everybody loves Malamar. Everybody loves Malamar. Everybody loves Malamar. Everybody loves Malamar.